Good evening, sweet world. Hello. It is Friday, September 5th, 2025. Happy birthday to the Naked Ape 54. Falcons Pops. It is his birthday today. Um, it feels like it feels like forever since I've been here. Hey, so hard. So hard 222. Na 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 na. Hey, hey. Anch man. Hey, what's up? Yeah, it feels like it's been a while. I guess it's been a week. It feels longer, but we're back. I think we'll take a look at some of the news here, but what's been going on? Um, Came off some dentist appointments. I hadn't seen the dentist in forever, in too long, if we're being honest. A little bit negligent, but a lot of stuff what has been going on. So it was just drill, baby, drill, was what it was. A nice couple of needles in there to numb everything. And I'm going back in there probably, I think September 18th. I'm going in there. I have another appointment set to yank out some wisdom teeth. So that is going to be
Sept.
fantastic. Oh, excellent. Thanks. Hug. Oh, man. I love it. The video game, not necessarily actual ass calculus. That's probably not so good.
Tomahawk Shop Boy 89 just subscribed.
But yeah, I don't know. Otherwise, just trying to figure out like what exactly I want to do with the stream stuff and like what exactly else I need to be figuring out. So I mean the bigger news is that I've lost oh no, that's okay. No worries. You're free to interrupt. It's okay. Tomahawk. The bigger news is that I've well, August is over, but for the month of August it looks like I've lost something like 10 pounds. Because at the beginning of last month the scale said 251 and this morning the scale said 240.4 or something like that. So that is, yeah, that's like basically 10 pounds. I think it said 251 when I was wearing a bunch of clothes, so whatever. It's somewhere there, right? Yeah, thanks so hard. Yeah. It's it is pretty pretty good, right? But I mean it's not for nothing. Like I'm in the gym twice a day. I'm in there. Well, I try to get up in the morning, but my sleep schedule gets all thrown off, right? Because we play WoW and I want to play WoW and all this kind of stuff. But by the time you get to bed, it's 1 o'clock, and then you're trying to get up at 6, and yeah, you know, but still, like on lunch break, I'll go in there and I'll spend an hour and like nothing crazy. It's just like I just need to walk, right? So I'll get on the treadmill. I'll try to do the elliptical as much as I can and then take a break and then come back there for another hour later in the day. Has been kind of what it's been like. And then the other major thing though, which is harder, is fasting. I've just been fasting. And so like I try to make sure that I eat whatever, like I get enough nutrition so that I don't end up having any other long term stuff that could, I don't want to end up on a chubby emu video, basically. But yeah, that basically just it's coffee, then creatine because I lift weights some of the time. Because if you're fasting for that long, then the thing you got to be careful about is signaling to your body that it needs muscle because otherwise it's just going to take away muscle to get energy. And so you need to lift some weights. You don't need to lift super heavy, but you need to lift some weights. So creatine helps because it helps hold sugar and water in the muscle. So then which makes it easier for you to lift heavier. So that's been one thing. Protein, like whey protein, otherwise is good. That's another thing, gets you hydration and also like, gives you a little bit of energy boost and fills you up in a sense because your stomach gets something. And then, yeah, I mean, nutrition, whatever shakes you can get as well. And then in the evening, I'll have a proper salad. I'll make a proper salad and then make a proper meal, right? And so I can get basically in about it's just I've realized now that it's just basically math is all losing and maintaining a weight is. And so basically what I think is about 1,000 calories I've been kind of looking over. And shout outs to Holy Fire Heart, Holy Fire, for mentioning the Lose It app because I've been definitely using that. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah, Tomahawk, absolutely. So Yeah, I always used to think like, oh, this is impossible. You'll never do it. Like I've had like a terrible body image or like problem with how I view myself for forever. Um, but like recently, like looking at it and seeing this kind of progress, I'm like, you know what? This really is like a math problem, and like part of it is, yeah, it's at some point you have to develop some sort of I don't want to say discipline, but maybe that's not it. It's like there is a bit of like a mental toughness that you have to develop to be able to stick to it and all this kind of stuff. And you'll waver and you'll go up and down, but yeah, you know, I think the my initial goal was like, all right, 7,000 steps a day. Then I moved it up to all right, 10,000 steps a day. Then I moved it up to 15,000 steps a day, and that was too much. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll keep the goal at 15,000 steps a day, but if I get past the 10,000 threshold, we're good. And you don't have to worry. Like, just play within that band. If you're doing that, you're doing enough. And the weekends, I'll just rest, right? So, yeah, yeah, that's the thing, right? It can be super overwhelming to start because so hard. 222 in chat says it can be super overwhelming to start because so many people say to do different stuff or this and blah blah blah. Finding what's right for you is the hardest yet best part about the journey. Absolutely. There, it is so easy to get inundated with all kinds of messaging, especially if you know, like our any generation, really, but like we nowadays we can get so used to like scrolling, content like doom scrolling and just scrolling through shit all the time that you can find yourself on. I certainly did find myself on like I see like this fucking bodybuilder because I liked one of them, and now it just YouTube just wants to show me a bunch of fucking bodybuilders. Like, fuck, man, no, this guy was good. But yeah, anyway, there's like all kinds of different messages come through. The guy who's good is called fuck, what's his name? It is oh, thanks, Amy. So hard, 222. Oh man. Uh, I think his name is J.R. Stretch, Daniel Junior Stretch. He is hilarious. He is the best. I love this guy. But anyway, so that's a little bit of an update. But anyway, as a result of like finally for once in my life trying to take care of myself, as opposed to doing stuff in like I've always been caught in like or at least I feel like I've always been caught up with trying to take care of other people's needs or desires. Uh, and you know, having gotten through all that kind of stuff, now I finally find myself in a place where I'm like, all right, man, like, what do you actually need to do first? How do you take care of yourself first before you move on to anything? It's like the airplane thing when the mask comes down, you got to put it on yourself first before you put it on other people. It's like that, right? And this is probably the next thing, and that means that I might be around less, but we'll see. I think you know the whole Twitch thing has been a little bit. It's been a little bit frustrating for me. I'm not sure. I just there's a part of me that wants to be creative and do different things, but there's a part of me that hates putting it on a schedule and doing things consistently and fitting in these kind of these boxes. And then you know you go to the creator dashboard and it's like you should do this 3 times a week, and you should do it for like 2 to 3 hours on the set schedule, and you should set up a schedule, and you should tell everybody that you're going to do this, and that. It just takes the fun out of the whole thing. And the whole original point of this whole channel in the first place was just, hey man, like I've never worked in video games. I've worked in all kinds of other things that, hey, don't get me wrong, I make good money now. And not for nothing, I gave up a lot to be able to get here. But also, you know, I'm not working in video games and I've always wanted to. And so this channel was really always about learning about games and trying different things and partially learning about Twitch and how this whole thing works. Because by the way, Twitch is like one of the biggest, or at least certainly fastest growing avenues for marketing for video games. I'm pretty sure I remember seeing some marketing research report talking about that. But anyway, that's my spiel. Let's take a look at the news. and see if there's anything here. I think there were a couple of stories. I wasn't really paying too much attention. But we'll go take a look at some news, and then we'll go play Pokemon Yellow. And at some point here, there's also an Epilogue Gaming a game club, and they're playing different games over there. One of which now is BioShock, which I grew up on first-person shooters. I loved first-person shooters growing up, and I haven't played FPS in so long. But Half-Life. I didn't get through Half-Life. I kind of like I got partway through Half-Life, and then I was like, oh man, this Counter-Strike mod just came out. What is this? And then just got hooked on Counter-Strike, and then that was it. I didn't look back. But yeah, I don't know. Something about BioShock just kind of reaches out, but I never, like, do I go back to it? How long is it going to take? All I've played this entire last week has been World of Warcraft, which again, I'm fine with that. But, also means that I'm not going to touch anything else. Especially when you're like at a point where you're trying to gear something up and you're investing a lot of time to do this thing until you can get to like maintenance. But I also want to level a Tauren, so I don't know. God, I'm back into World of Warcraft now. Oh my goodness. Anyway, memory coming back of there was one summer where I disappeared from at the time, whatever my friend circle was. I disappeared for 3 months, and my then friends had like, they were like, what the fuck happened to this guy? Where'd he go? They couldn't get touch. They couldn't get a hang of me. They couldn't. That year, I think was the year when the PvP ranking system had come out. And so that entire summer, 3 months, I spent PvPing the entire time as a undead rogue. My favorite Stratholme undead right here. Hell yeah. That's right. God damn it. I actually took a recording of that run. I'm going to post that at some point. But yeah, 3 months of just wake up, queue up for Warsong Gulch or whatever, or Alterac Valley or whatever the hell was out there. A lot of Warsong Gulch. And do that. Earn as much honor as I can. And then go to bed. Sleep for like 3 hours. Wake up. World of Warcraft. We're PvPing. That's what we're doing. 3 months. At halfway through, I wish I had this. This health card actually must be somewhere. I can't imagine that I would have thrown it out. It's an expired health card. But I had to go get a health card. My health card expired, so I had to go to the thing. So you see how I am now. Like, imagine like this tone, but like 3 shades lighter because I'm just so pale. Because I'm just deficient of like everything that a human should have. Because I've just been playing. Well, it's fine. I'm playing. I have a high enough spirit. I'll regenerate. Yeah, that man. I got really, really into it. And the worst part about all of that is that I didn't even get like I got like a decent rank, but only like 10 out of 15 for all the time that I'd sank into it. Which means that there were people that were even crazier than me or better, which is fine. But yeah, goddamn. Yeah. It definitely can turn into a full-time job with how much time it consumes. Absolutely. Goddamn. All right. Anyway, it's my WoW story. Oh man. All right. Let's go over here. Oh, hey. Oops. Turn that down. I will get to that later, but for now, I want a. Oh, what do I want? I want this to change. Let's go here and. Okay. Hey, see here. So I had heard about this Final Fantasy Tactics is coming out. Final Fantasy Tactics is another game. This well, a remaster, I guess. I think I got it on like iPod Touch at some point when back when they were porting it all to wherever the hell they could. And man, my problem with my problem with playing Final Fantasy Tactics is that I always get into like, oh man, I have to execute everything flawlessly, and if I don't execute it flawlessly, this whole level is scuffed, and I better restart. Is kind of the trap that I would fall in. So it would just take me forever to move through, and then eventually I'd just drop it. That's cool. I don't know. So it looks like anyway. So this is from what's his name, Shy Guy from Jason Schreier, talking about how much work they had to put in on this remaster. It's coming out on September 30th. Recreation of the original game with spruced up graphics. Yes, yes. How much is it going to be though? It's another thing here is so they're talking about my hero son, uh, who has been there since 1995. Just like just often find that it can be quite a common characteristic that you'll see in this industry is that people who have been there since the beginning, who managed to get in since the beginning, at least they will be the people who seem to be in the news constantly. If you can call this news, I mean, it is because this is actually Bloomberg, but I mean, yeah, news has gotten kind of pathetic, in my opinion. Coverage in general for the industry, it's really gotten to a bad place. It's gotten to this weird influencer kind of place where there's I don't know, like there are people who who are good journalists and who do write well, but also are like they have been forced into this place of where they have to raise money to be able to survive by themselves, and so that they turn basically to their audiences to do that. But in the process of doing that, like you're, you know, I just feel like you're constantly fighting against trying to stay impartial and actually objective. Um, and not just, pumping out content that's like, here's what my, I don't know, whatever. I'm not even going to criticize. Who cares? I'm not going to dunk on all that stuff, but it's like the personal type of stuff. And because there are people there that want to do that because you're like a part influencer now, and people are like paying you and following you because they're they want to they treat it as like a social thing and like, hey, yeah, I like some information too, which fine, that's kind of what the relationship has turned into. But when I come at this, I'm just like, man, I want news. I don't know. Oh, I just realized my camera's not on here as well. Oops. Which one is that? Oh, it's here. Oh, hello. Hey, there I am. Oh, also, is that high enough? Oh, goddamn. Oh boy, one sec. Oh shit, wrong one. uh, okay. Right or left? We're going left. This screen. I mean, hey, my brother sent me the screen, so thank you. But it's challenging sometimes. I wish I could. Like, part of me wishes I could just nail it into the floor. Then it would never drift. Then I'd never have a problem. But no, it always just drifts around, moves around. I bump into it constantly. Anyway, all right. This is a man who used to be an entry level staffer on Final Fantasy Tactics who got to be the director of the modern version. My hero said at first he underestimated the scope of the project, how long it would take to develop. When he learned that the source code was gone, he felt even more invigorated to do a good job. That's cool. Creative Business Unit 3 became swamped with more pressing projects. Fine. So you had to make some decisions like how much story to add and how much gameplay to change. Which, I mean, if it's a remaster, then my thing would be like you shouldn't really be touching much of gameplay, I guess, or certainly not story. But it seems like they've made a few changes to Sid because he might have been game breaking. Okay. All right. Well, hey. Anyway, that's cool. All right. Final Fantasy Tactics. That's right. I think I had heard Falcon talking about it, mostly just to say that he wasn't really too into it, which is fine. This is another one. So this is, remember, Perfect Dark had gotten canceled. I was about to say shelled, but I think like outright canceled. But that developer, Crystal Dynamics, has laid off staff after a funding deal falls through. So they were taking it to Take Two, which Take Two, who, sorry, I just need to get another tab open here. Yeah. So anyway, Take Two, who has Rockstar Games and will be doing GTA 6, I guess next year, coming out, has been doing really well, making a lot of money, and their stock has been on the rise as well. And so I see that they tried to that Crystal Dynamics tried to come over here for a funding deal. Dynamics was forced to cut staff. I see. So Take Two, there was a potential deal for Take Two to purchase it from Xbox. Okay. Companies were unable to come to terms of long-term ownership of the franchise. Yep. And this is the sad part about the whole kind of thing, right? Is that there are, on the one hand, you basically, it's like what, you want your cake and you want to eat it too, or whatever that saying is. Where like on the one hand you want to sit on a bunch of IP because, in one sense, if you sit on the IP, nobody else can sit on it. And so you can use that to protect your position and say, well, you know what? You're not going to get one over me with Perfect Dark. Unless you pay me a bunch of money now, like a lot of money now. Some may say a ridiculous amount of money now, just in case, so that we cover any kind of, like, I would think how you do it is you would somehow try to estimate whatever the future value of that IP is over a really long period of time. And you would do that by thinking about, like, okay, like if we make this thing, how much would it sell? Like lifetime, how much would it sell? How much would it cost us? You'd come up with all those numbers. You would put that out year over year over year over year over year into like well into the future. And then you'd like estimate, okay, what is all that? And then, hey, you might even say, okay, let's get all of that out and then bring it back to today by discounting by whatever, some rate. And then you'll have a number, right? Which will be a really fucking big number to cover off saying, we need this now to give up our rights to this thing. Because I'm not going to say opportunity cost, but there are certainly like, you, in a sense, if you give up an IP that is that big, you could be just you're giving up some sort of competitive advantage, I guess. Is kind of how I would think about it. So yeah, representatives declined to comment. Yes. Yeah. All right. Oh boy. That sucks. All around sucks. I would have loved to play. I think I played a little bit of Perfect Dark. I certainly played Perfect Dark multiplayer growing up. I remember that. I remember it was like almost like having wall hacks with some of that stuff. Um, but outside of that, not huge memories. I don't think I was too into. I wasn't too into console shooters, to be honest. I think, really, uh, pretty early on, I got into PC gaming. Um, I don't know what that was. I feel like part of it was that my brother was into gaming all over the place, but like console gaming, and so he would be on the consoles and I'd be watching. And then eventually we got a computer. I was like, oh shit, I'll go to the computer then. And yeah, that's kind of where it all started. Half Life, Diablo 2, and so on. Um, oh, surprise! Google's search AI repeatedly doled out false. I think we looked at that last week. Anyway, that's fine. This is kind of interesting here. I didn't realize that PlayStation was on a war on counterfeits, or on a year-long war on counterfeits anyway, which, I mean, hey, it makes sense. It's just, I guess it's just never in the fore. Um so in a federal court, a judge in Illinois' Northern District ruled that operators of 35 online marketplaces that sell their wares through Amazon were liable for violating PlayStation copyrights and trademarks. They were wait, what? They were selling through Amazon? Ugh. What? In April, Sony filed the lawsuit against dozens of those shops, alleging they were operated by counterfeiters from China and other foreign countries, and were coordinating to sell fake PlayStation-related goods. What the hell? I mean, okay. So sure, like, I'm aware that on Amazon, there's a bunch of counterfeit stuff, right? And there it's like a nightmare I'm not making defenses for them, but uh, okay, let's just take it to the customer perspective. It's a nightmare to navigate all kinds of different things on there. I remember I was trying to buy like a box set for Aqua Teen and Hunger Force because I'm dumb. I don't know. I wanted to watch that. I wanted the box set and I wanted to be able to easily watch it whenever I want, right? The little CD player that I have here that hooks up to a USB thing that then goes into the computer. And so you see it listed at a higher price, um by like seemingly a reputable seller, and you price check that against whatever, like a Warner or other traditional retail stores that have the thing, and you realize that, oh yeah, it's the same price. Okay, all right, this seems to be legitimate. And then you see the same product listed but with a slightly different name, and like weirdly so, in a way that it hasn't been advertised the same way elsewhere, like anywhere else. And you see that it's like $30 less, and you're like, what's going on here? Because it's not even a sale. That's just the retail price, and it's $30 less. And you're like, okay, should I buy this? What is this? And it's just bootleg. It's just bootleg. That's all it is. It's like, I think in this particular case, it was like a bootleg from a seller in Mexico. And there were also positive reviews on there, although some people in the comments were like, some of the quality on this is kind of scuffed. This episode wasn't. So yeah. Anyway, but kind of wild that they'd be operating there. Growing up, I used to. There was a mall called Pacific Mall in the place where I grew up, and that place had like just all kinds of counterfeit shops all over the place. And it was like an Asian mall, right? Like Chinese, uh, and like whatever else. But yeah, um, the stores would get raided from time to time. Like the police would come, they get raided, and they take away all the contraband, like all the burned DVDs and all this stuff. And then, like, a couple days later, the shop's back. Like they're back. They're back in business. Hilarious. We also used to have like a little. Oh, there was a couple more like Asian Chinese plazas around where I went to high school, and there were a couple of these shops that would just run PS2 modifying. They would sell burned DVDs. They would sell fake games, not fake games, but counterfeit games. And they would sell the modding service, and they like take your PS2, mod it for you, and yeah, you know, right down the street from the school. Hilarious, absolutely hilarious. But I guess in those kind of instances, it's much harder for for Sony all the way in Japan to go after like these little operations, because you think about the scale that they have to go after all these people. But when you're operating out in the open on Amazon, that seems to be a little bit easier because then Sony can just go after Amazon and say, "Hey, what the fuck? What's going on here? Hand over information. I don't know, like help us out." And then very easy to then go to court for it, and that's great. That's fantastic. Many defendants also deceive unknowing customers. So, I mean, I guess, might be a little bit different though, because I guess this is more of like, hey, they're selling counterfeit games as if they're real. At least that's certainly how it's being brought up, and that would make sense, I guess. Anyway, um, none of the accused retailers defended themselves. The court awarded Sony a default judgment. Nearly 3 dozen storefronts have been found liable, but what happens next? How are you going to get them to pay up? Okay. So 2 of the retailers have paid up. How to go and be myself. Oh man, I just want to be myself. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Good name, retailer. Noting a satisfaction of judgment with each. The filing said that Sony acknowledges payment of an agreed upon damages, amount, costs, and interest. Okay. Huh. Okay. So there have been 8 of these trademark suits in January. I wonder why they're filing in Illinois. Anyway, okay. Yeah, okay. So they're a clear strategy so throughout the year, Sony has shown a clear legal strategy to shut down counterfeiters via federal court in Illinois. I see numerous default judgments and voluntary dismissals. The most apparent success is knocking the retailers offline. Hmm. Okay. Well, hey, yeah. Well, yeah. There are only so many moles Sony can whack. Yeah. So whatever. I'm not gonna get all defensive on Sony's side. Hey man, if you can't afford it, do what you got to do to go get it. It's one of my favorite things about the Roots. I think it was the Roots. I can't remember who it was, which one of the Roots that said it was like, hey man, if you can't afford this album, fucking, in so many words, steal it. Like whatever. Which I mean, in those days or in that context, more like means like, not maybe not Napster. I don't know. I don't know if it was Napster time, but it's like, yeah, download it. If you can't afford it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay. There's something about Crafton and Subnautica, but it's so redacted that it's not worth going through. So whatever. It's fine. Let's see if there's anything else here. Go through VentureBeat. JoyCalls launches nationwide as AI phone companion for seniors. I quite like this as a policy solution for some stuff. But anyway, that's super off topic. But that is a problem. We're pretty soon going to have more seniors than we have youth, and that's going to be a huge problem for us. And we're going to need ways to deal with all the social problems that comes with that. And the taxes. The taxes are going to be crazy, man. Okay, let's see. VentureBeat's more business focused publication, I guess, if you can call it that. They're an online publication, I suppose. I saw this. Over 50% of the job cuts in video games are in California, which I don't know. Okay, that's fine. I haven't listened to GameFile or the Game Business rather in quite some time actually. I used to listen to the Game Business when I would go to the gym or like I need a podcast or something to listen to. What I've been doing now though more often than not is I've been if I'm not watching a Twitch stream, then I'm watching no clip videos because no clip does video documentaries on video games, and that's been kind of more engaging and fun to watch while going through. But anyway, that's an interesting stat line. I don't know. I'd be more interested to know a little bit more about like what is the workforce concentration like? But I don't know if they'll actually go into that here. Maybe in the audio they will. 75% of the layoffs have been in North America. North America used to have 35%, 40, pick one, 40% of the open roles. That number is now down to 25%. Okay. Overall employment has increased since pre-COVID. Yeah, but if you're in a AAA studio, then you're like, what are you talking about? But if you're in a studio in Asia, you're like, what are you talking about? We've seen an increase in jobs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? So like you have your places like China and Japan. I even think about Saudi, but Saudi isn't really like they're not. I don't have developers in Saudi. They just have Saudi money that is getting thrown around. But okay, all right, yeah. Remote job vacancies have fallen sharply as well. I think remote work is like it's coming on a death knell pretty soon here. I think I don't know how long to give it. I think like in my area, you know, I would think 2 years. 2 years from now, I think we might be in a place where it's like, all right, man, yep, we're done. Or rather, our employers will be like, all right, man, all right, we're done. Come on home, and we'll do it. But and then you'll look elsewhere, and then you'll realize that everyone else is following the same game plan, and then your options will dwindle. I don't know. Maybe that's a very cynical view, but that's kind of how I think it'll end up being. We'll see. Maybe video games will be different. Who knows? Certainly, if you have your own outfit, then it could be. But anyway. Anyway. New people looking to get into games with less than 3 years of work experience have between a 5 to 7% chance of finding a job in games. For everybody, that name is 15. That number is 15%. For games veterans, that goes up to 30 to 35%. People over 50 years, the percentage goes back to between 5 and 7%. Yes, that's called ageism. When it comes to job function, the easiest roles are engineering and programming. But if you're interested in game design, your odds are 9 times tougher. If you're someone in writing or narrative, your odds are 22 times tougher. Yes. Gosh. Man. He's pushing on project reality, getting games people to focus on non-game roles. Okay. Okay, so an idea of concentric circles. So are they one circle away from games, or two circles, or even three circles away? One circle would be like you were at Amazon in the studio, now you're at Prime Video. Two circles would be even further away from that. We now have more placements for our community in non-game than in games. Amir Satvat. Mr. Amir Satvat. Oh, right. Yes. Duh. Yeah. I remember this guy. He was at the Game Awards, right? Okay. I get it now. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Yep. Yep. However, one part of the industry that is growing is co-development and X development. Sees a shift in overall business. Games is growing, has a lot of room to grow. Okay. Encouraging that indies, which used to be only 10% to 20% of the top 25 Metacritic games 20 to 30 years ago, are now perennially 50% to 70% of the top Metacritic games. I feel like it's even easier. It's easier than ever to self-start, self-publish, make your own game, make your own mods, learn what to do. Everything's growing, everything's more open. People still love games. It just takes a very different entrepreneurial skill set to take that on. If what you're looking for is the 20-year AAA standard functional gig in one location, that's going to be an expectation that's hard to meet increasingly and may disappoint. I feel like if you go into it open, I suppose minded, it's still very tough. But there are opportunities that didn't exist before. So like I feel like it's come there's kind of a parallel to what is being communicated here with this idea that at some point in the past it used to be AAA functional 20-year gig, right? And this goes back to thinking about the person at Square Enix who has been there since the mid 90s and is now an executive, or even God, what's his name? I wish I was better with names. I think his name is Todd Howard. Todd Howard, who is American game developer, director, and executive producer at Bethesda Game Studios, who got his job by walking into the studio, by walking, I think ZeniMax Studio or whatever studio was, whatever it was named at that time, walking into the studio and just kind of asking for a job. I think that's how that story went. I saw it on NoClip in an interview, but you know, and you think about, I've heard stories about this, like about even places I used to work in, as an intern, going back like 20 years, hearing about how at that time, a manager or maybe even a senior manager at that point had gotten his job years ago by just cold calling somebody at that firm and saying, hey, this is who I am, looking for a job. What do you got? This kind of stuff. This kind of stuff used to happen. I feel like it was more kind of, it seems to be more, I don't know if acceptable is the word, but I don't hear stories like that anymore, I guess is the thing. And so it just feels like there's just been a lot more space. And then, you layer on top of that the whole, the development of different technologies and all these different kind of things that have played against youth and the entry level that have kind of, made that really like increasingly tough to get in. Then you layer on top of that entire education systems that are built around saddling youth with debt and over credentialing and putting youth in a position where like you get up to a point of education that should be enough, but now that's not being accepted anymore and something else is being looked for, and so now you're back in a system where you're taking on loans and all this other kind of shit just so you can get to a next level education. And then you're trying to get in, and then all you can find is like you can find work, thankfully, but now it's just contract work, and what the fuck. And so now you're just grinding constantly to try and get your next contract and whatever. I don't know. maybe I'm just um that was my experience, I guess, is really what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just projecting my experience on the whole thing, but anyway. Um yeah. But yeah, so then you have this kind of situation where, even if you think about other industries, um when people can't find jobs, what do they end up doing? They start their own business. Doesn't matter what it is. So my dad, who is no longer in this country, has not been in this country forever, for a very long time, uh, has absolutely nothing to do with making drill bits. But when he came here, as like he went to the University of Cairo, he did economics there, and he came to this country, and he was pushing mail cart for $17 an hour. Trying to support two kids and a wife, and yeah, it's not a lot. And then a whole bunch of shit happened. He had to go back and make more money elsewhere and send money back. But before he did that, because he couldn't get any better work, he just started businesses up. Right. So this is really like how you end up with like the stereotypical Indian at a fucking corner shop, right? But it's just like they can't find work anywhere else. So what else? We're gonna fucking start a liquor store or a corner shop. But for him it wasn't that. It was drill bits. So he did like drill bits for a while. He had a company that made drill bits and tried to sell drill bits. Oh my god. Like he found somebody else here who was like similarly an immigrant, Indian immigrant or something, and started a business with them. It did not go well. But yeah, they closed. It really didn't feel like too long before they were like, oh well shit, this isn't working. But this is what happens, and I can kind of see a parallel here to what's kind of happening with video games, to where you have a whole bunch of people that have spent a whole bunch of years in education being fed a line that says that they have to educate, educate, educate. And no, don't get me wrong, like it is important to go get an education, all this kind of stuff, right? It builds you as a person. There's like a civic reality to why it's important. But, you know, I feel like we're oversold it a little bit. And certainly you get into this place where it's like, well, how is this actually going to translate to the labor market once I get out here? And have I been taught all the things that I need to be taught, or do I have all the resources that I need to have to be able to translate this into something? And I think that can be said to be, overwhelmingly no. Not those. Most of the programs that we have, unless the program, like the education program, is a co-op program that is like very seriously taking this into consideration, which is not often the case. It's very difficult to get into co-op programs, and I was one person who was always looking at co-op programs. I was looking to get as applied as I could, because I just knew this is the only way that I'm going to be able to get actual work with all the shit that I have going on. But anyway, so when you come to video games, then it's like, yeah, okay, can't find work, have all this education, have this training, whatever. All right, well, I guess I'll just start my own thing, and I'll try along with everybody else who's trying to do my own thing, and we'll see how it goes. And that's, and then luckily for those who make it, there are passionate communities that can spring up around these kind of things and really support it and push it through. So, hey, anyway, it is interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I think that's really all I can really glean from here. There's a couple other things in there. That's fine. Let's see. Um, I think that's gonna be it for today. Console pricing has gone terribly wrong. What? This is from gamesindustry.biz. Console pricing has gone. Oh, this is opinion. An opinion piece. Console pricing has gone terribly wrong. Capcom's president has voiced what many in the industry feel: the lack of price cutting for console hardware is turning into a huge problem for mass market franchises. Oh, okay, interesting. So Tsujimoto-san, who is Capcom president, has found that the high price of the PS5 is a major hurdle for customers, which has turned out to be a serious obstacle to build out a mass market franchise like Monster Hunter. Plenty of industry executives voiced concerns over high costs, raising the barriers for entry in the console market. It's remarkable is such a direct criticism of Sony's hardware and service pricing strategies made openly in an interview. Hmm. Let's see here. So gaming hardware has never been cheap. Yes, yes. Original PlayStation inflation adjusted launch price was $650. I assume we're talking about US dollars here. And the PS2's works out at $560. Within a few years, they were much cheaper. PS2 launched at $299, down to $199, down to $149. The PS5 is more expensive than it was at launch, right? It arrived at $500, and now it is $550 US. Yep. This kind of goes back to some of the stuff I was thinking about with the Switch. That price of the Switch was so high that, mind you, yes, again, I did get it gifted to me, but still, that adding the game on top of the console really makes it hard to fully commit to something, unless you know for sure, like, hey, like, I'm so into this that I'm absolutely going to do this. I don't know. Okay. It's fine. I'm sure they're, yeah. Yeah. Anyway. Industry more broadly, a reconsideration of how we think about the value of cheaper, older hardware is one of the most obvious solutions. Oh, you got to go Switch for his birthday. Nice. It was, yeah. The price was crazy, eh? Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. Plus, plus tax and whatever. Actually, how it ended up happening is that I had to. So Falcon gifted me a Switch, too. But the way it worked out is that I had to buy it here, and then he could reimburse me because otherwise he just wasn't going to be able to ship it, because they were going to put customs, they're going to put import taxes on it and whatever else. So that's the way we did it. But I had to go through EV Games to check out with it. So it was like, yeah, it was $829 after taxes. I was like, fuck. Now you're telling me I'm gonna, and I'm in so my extended family that I don't even talk to anymore. They don't. Well, actually, they don't talk, I don't know. Anyway, some shit going on there, but I'm still on their Nintendo family plan, so I get Nintendo Online through that. Uh, but if I didn't have to do that, and if I didn't get it as a gift, then you're talking about like $829 for the console or whatever it was. It was somewhere around there. Well, let's just say like $830 after taxes, all in. 830 Canadian dollars. And then, you're talking whatever the online, let's just say, I don't know, online must be something at least $100 a year. Right? So you're talking in one shot, 829 plus 100, 929, 930. And now I want to go buy $100 game. Oh, great. $1,030. God damn, I better really fucking like this thing if I'm spending that much on it, you know. And I do like the console. I do like Mario Kart World, and I've been enjoying that. I think when a Pokemon game comes, I may buy a Pokemon game. But I too am playing this game of like, I'm gonna skip out on this one, but maybe I'll get this one, and maybe I'll skip on this one, and maybe I'll get this one, right? Because it's too much. Too much. But ultimately, I mean, these are luxury goods, right? Yeah. Very expensive luxury goods, no doubt. Yeah. Though I guess the argument that's being made here is like, oh, we have the back catalog of all these kind of things that are kind of oops, ignore that. That's just ads running. It's fine. We'll let them go. Sorry for ads. I don't have snoozes. Anyway, so that's that one. We'll move it on here because we've reached an hour mark, and that means that that's more than enough yapping. Let's take a quick look here to see if there's anything else here. Yes, okay, they're talking about Perfect Dark. That's fine. Okay. I gotta check out Virtua Fighter, man. I don't know. God. So many things to play, so little time. Okay, well, hey, that's gonna do it for the news. We'll be back after these ads. I think, man, all these things are playing out of order. But that is that. Man, I gotta bookmark this page. Amir Satvat's games community, www.amirsatvat.com. We help gamers get hired. Oh, hey, that's done for you. Oh, damn. What? How's that possible? It says ad break ends in 1 minute and 22 seconds. I don't understand. Also, like, so there are supposed to be these sounds that are playing or like things that are letting me know when ads are happening, but it's just not working. And it kind of sucks. Hmm. I'm going to enable a trigger here on StreamerBot. I don't know what this is going to do. We'll see if things get crazy, but your computer is weird like that. Sometimes you don't even get ads and you don't have an ad blocker. That's strange, but also excellent. Good. Okay. Anyway, I bookmarked this page. This is a cool page. Discord. Is this not a link? Oh, it is a link. Hey? Oh, what? Okay. Anyway, I don't. Oh, job list. Take me straight to job listings. Oh, on amirsatvat.com. Damn. This guy's got everything. I gotta check out this. I gotta check out this website more.
We're always here. Hi, everybody. It's such a pleasure to welcome you to Amir Satvat's games community.
He has World of Warcraft music playing in the background of this.
Support gamers at every step. Whether it's resources, just being there, giving you encouragement, or hearing your feedback to make what we offer even better in the future. In this short video, I hope to give you a bit of a taste of all the resources and assistance that we have to provide, and I'll be going through it with you right now live. So as you can see here, we jump right onto our website, and so much thanks to my dear friend Desiree.
I'm not going to pause it too much from here. I'm just going to sit here and watch, but I just wanted to comment. I just wonder how much he plays World of Warcraft and how big he is into it. Because, I mean, come on. That's a choice. That's a hell of a choice to use WoW music in here. I wonder if it's going to be exclusively, because come on. Anyway, that's brilliant. All right, let's see it.
Who put so much effort into this revamp of what was already a really nice website. You can see so many nice graphical touches like the seagull here on the docks and rethinking of buttons and order, but you'll also see many more material things in terms of flow to make a better experience for you as a job seeker. So you can see we have a button here that will take you straight to job listings. And we've actually reorganized everything into 4 categories instead of 6, but more on that in a second. So we always have metrics in terms of the impact of our resources that is updated every 2 weeks. My annual projection of what's going on in terms of layoffs in the market that you can enjoy here. Our community leaders, in case you're interested, who's helping drive things here. And our mission statement to just tell you a little bit about the organization. And if you're wondering what you can do to help, we have all these different ways that you can help with direct button clicks to these various activities that would help the community. But for the resources, which is why I know most of you are here, which are summarized in this one-page guide you can always download, let's go through them one at a time together. So you'll see that we have 2 resources have been brought to the front. The One Job Seekers Workbook, where you can sign up to be found by tens of thousands of people, hiring managers and recruiters who look at this over the year. And you put a bunch of information in, it takes about 5 minutes, and people take a look at it. You can let me know if you ever want to come off of it because you were hired. We merged our GamesOrg support posts. If your organization is at a programmatic layoff, just fill in the template and help me with individual consent for every person on it. We've done 125 of these, and it really helps with getting visibility to the organization. So these are together because one is for individual visibility and one is for individual visibility at an organization during cut. Category 2 is now our job listings. We pulled that up because it ends up getting used more. And again, it's kind of more of a quicker self-service thing that you can do. We have the Combined Jobs Workbook that combines our new Game Jobs Workbook in collaboration with Mayank Grover and Outscale for a list of new jobs listings that are updated every 2 weeks. And on another tab is the original Games Jobs Workbook that I always produce for the community. This is updated every 2 months as kind of encyclopedic reference of all companies and how many roles are in the industry. They're both now joined together. And then you have the work of friends in the community like Ava Tucker, Alex Rem, Chris Main, and Kat Craig, who also have job support by specific areas of emphasis, indies overall for Alex, art for Chris Main, and UX UI and design for Kat. For career guidance, we have 4 categories of help in mentorship, CV, resume, and LinkedIn reviews, mock interviews, and art portfolio reviews. We have over 2,400 people who help with this. With these, the philosophy is simply these people have opted in so kindly to help you. Just pick names here and reach out to them on LinkedIn. Please be understanding that sometimes people get a lot of
Look at that. Right at the top of the list, accounting, finance, mentors. So there must be all kinds of different roles that are in here.
So if you send a message and they don't respond, take a little bit of time and then maybe reach out to some other folks, but it's as straightforward as that. And you can certainly volunteer if you want to participate too and earn some nifty community badges. Our additional perks is now category 4, Ticket to Ride, for ticket drawings that we have for the community. There's nothing right now, but we've given away over 2,000 of these tickets to many, many events all around the world.
Tomahawk Shop Boy 89 gifted a gift sub to Sohar 222. Thank you.
Thanks, man. As always, you're such a solid dude. Yeah, such great time today. No worries. Don't worry about it. That's awesome. I love you, man. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your sub there so hard, Amy. All right, Amir.
Rapidly nearing 1,000 of these given away, and this is managed by my good friend Tim Wood. We give you 2-month LinkedIn Premium trials. Asking anything you want of Lex Parisi or Tim
background
Wood
music is killing me.
Questions that you have
but this
about
is really
anything,
amazing. This
absolutely
is really cool.
anything, games, careers, or anything in between or not. Haley Ross is open to network for people within the industry to network with one another, and the Games Creator Partner Program, where we highlight a number of creators. We have 21 of them by 5 specific categories of resources that they offer, so you can know exactly what they offer, and they're vetted for having resources that we believe in and that are quality. And then finally, Desiree had this great idea of this really cool phone, and of course there's a whale at the bottom, that merges together all our resources that weren't really the right fit for those other 4 categories. So you can click into all of these. You can see they're so lovely and well organized now, from early career resource pack to templates, to homelessness and mental health offerings, a career resource suite from Jessica Lindell, Game Day Foundry with Renee Giddens, a video game publishing guide from Scott Millard, and events and jam suggestions from Tim Culling, and we're always adding to them. And you can always just jump back to Maine. So that's our website, and I really hope you enjoy it.
Wow, man.
Okay. Another helpful tool you'll find is our Discord server, discord.gg/amyoursatbat.
Okay, let's go. Discord.gg/amir. I also love that. But anyway, Satvat. Amir Satvat. Accepted. I am now a member of the Amir Satvat games community. I will fill out that stuff later. There's a bunch of onboarding stuff to fill out there. But hey, there you go. It's Dave the Diver, but it's Amir, I guess. Amir the Diver. Maybe that's Dave. I don't know. It's Dave adjacent. All right.
Here we have over 13,000 members that are always there for conversation support and more resources. You can see we have all kinds of general chats for conversation and various fun things here, but also for specific activities, we have aspects of career development, job opportunities, internship and volunteer posting, specialized discussions along every functional area, and we in fact now have dedicated reviewers who can help you with things like your CV, portfolio reviews, and more right here on the Discord. So that's another great option. And then finally, of course, there's LinkedIn itself, where you can find me under just my name, Amir Satbat. We also have our page for our organization, Amir Satbat's Games Community. Please feel free to follow both of them or neither. But I put up plenty of content on this that is often reposted by our organization page. You can find posts anywhere from 2 to 5 times a day, sometimes even more if there's a lot going on. And I provide all kinds of information to stay in tune with new things that our community is doing. So if you're wondering what we provide and what's going on, this will give you a sense of it. These 3 homes of our website, our Discord, and LinkedIn, 14 resources on the website, always free with other bells and whistles around it, and we're always adding to it. Our Discord, top for games resources, the same way that the website is #1 on Google for games jobs resources. The Discord is #1 for games careers in SEO. And our LinkedIn page, where we really strive to provide interesting content that reinforces the resources and also provides other insights and fun. So I hope you dive in and know that this is all for you and that this demystifies a little bit how to use all of it and get the most out of it. Thanks, everybody.
Wow, man. That's awesome. What a cool guy. Yeah. I mean, this is fantastic. I mean, so this is this part of like his whole kind of operation is purely nonprofit. But he is so I went to his LinkedIn and followed him on LinkedIn. I won't actually I don't know that. Let's see. Am I going to dox myself? I shouldn't be logged in here. Oh no, it's going to want me to log in. Okay. So I cannot pull it up, but I am on his LinkedIn here. And it says Amir Satvat is a business development director at Tencent Games in North America. Tencent's the Chinese company. But he has had that's his job, his day job. He has nearly 2 decades of experience at companies like Amazon, VMware, Dell EMC, and Goldman Sachs. Damn, what? Holy shit! All right, he led business development and strategy. Let's see. I go all the way down here. MBA in management. Before that, MB in biotechnology. Okay. And then, yeah, started at Amazon, went into games. Yeah. I'm not sure which AI video this is. I'd have to look that up. AI video Tencent. Oh, is it an AI video generator? Oh wow, I didn't even see this. Ugh. Maybe I did. No. I feel like I heard like a whisper about this, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That certainly does, like, it puts a little bit of a thorn in my side where I'm like, "Ooh, that feels gross." I don't know. I mean, it's fine, but not to get uh too uncomfortable about it, I guess. I don't know. Like, Tencent's not inherently bad, I guess. But I don't know. They also have some, like, um well, I guess they have PUBG now. Man, they have so much now. Holy shit. Yeah. Anyway. Just so much of it I have associated with microtransaction-y type of shit. But oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, bad kind of unpolished AI crap for a 3-year anniversary. Yeah, that's gross. That sucks. Oh man. Ugh. Yeah, that's gross. All right. Anyway, so that's gonna do it for the news. Goddamn, Amir Sat. I can't believe that you know what? See, it's fucking worth it to get online sometimes. We go on to like just tangents and end up at amirsatvat.com. Which is amazing. I'm totally joining this Discord server. This guy has a lot to offer. Uh, yeah, I remember seeing him at the Game Awards, right? Like, what award did he win at the Game Awards? It was like, it's not Lifetime Achievement. Uh, Amir Satvat Game Awards award? Question mark. The Game Changer Award, a recognition award, presented. The inaugural Game Changer Award at Game Awards 2024. Introduced to recognize individuals who have had a positive impact on the game industry. Yeah, I remember. Like he did give a pretty emotional speech there. I remember watching that. That's cool. Okay. I'm just trying to fill out some of the onboarding stuff so I can get through this on although I suppose I can just respectful, no politics, zero tolerance for intolerance. Stay professional, report issues promptly. Ensure your Discord ID matches your LinkedIn profile name. Oh, interesting. Okay. Okay. I'll come back to that later. Oh boy. Oh man. My posture sucks. God damn it. Oh, let me just straighten up here. Ugh. Okay. Oh, let's play a video game, I guess. That's why I have my stream title as Pokemon Yellow. Now we'll get to it. I'll change